Just kind of talk about preparations for Clemson now that you're kind of really focusing on game week now.
Well, it's a lot of work. They do so much offensively, formations, and not as much personnel, but enough personnel issues during the game. And with a fast-paced offense, the way they can substitute and get on the line of scrimmage on you quickly, it's tough. It's tough. So we're going to have great concentration and great week of preparation in terms of getting ready.
How much of the NFL did you see anything similar to what they do?
A couple of years ago, when the Wildcat was, kind of catching on, started with the Dolphins, and so, weekly it seemed like we were preparing for something similar to, what we're seeing. Not to the extent of what Gus did here and what they're doing at Clemson.
Has it been helpful for you that a lot of guys here are familiar with what Gus does, obviously?
A little bit. I've really kind of challenged myself to get a good grip on it since you're going to see it. You're going to see it through the year, at least different series of it. So I think it was important to kind of, get my head around it and try to fit what we do schematically so it makes sense for the players and handle the offense.
You got some starters from last year who were in reserve roles, even if they will see the field. I mean, the starting 11 on that depth chart, does that fit your scheme the way you want them to?
I think that, I think I need to wait, to answer that and really get a good, make a better judgment anyway. I've been away from the college game a long time, so I'm anxious Saturday night to see, the speed of it, the execution level, and those things. So my concentration's really been on the players that we have, trying to get them better each and every day in a lot of different areas, even in respects to in the classroom and preparing and doing those things. So, obviously we're going to compete to win the game, and at the same time I'm really interested to see, our guys perform and think later I'll be able to answer that question a little bit better, more accurately.
Last time out, Trent Fisher was kind of a surprise to us on the defense, but just kind of what he did to make that job. Or get,
Trent's a smart player and does a good job in terms of preparation. It's important to him, so he's earned trust from the coaches, and we feel confident that if he's in there, that he can operate our defense, which is very important at the linebacker positions and the safety positions. There's a lot of communication that they're called upon, to use during the game.
You talk about Sharvin Bell, guy who had a pretty serious surgery in November.
Yeah, a lot of respect for him. Just amazing that he's back and as healthy as he is. It's remarkable. I haven't seen that very many times where a guy can come back that quickly, and he certainly adds a maturity to our defense and a confidence, and with some young guys, he's there to help them along. So he's been a real pleasant surprise for us here during training camp and leading up into game week.
Did Robinson Therese being hurt and missing some time, did that set him back?
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, it's hard for a player that's in the developmental process again, to miss time like he did. And that's part of the game. And now he's got to continue to work and get himself back into a position where he's competing to play.
Talk about your kind of plans at the nickel. We talked about T-Bell in there, maybe Chris Davis. Have you got to kind of narrow down what you want to do?
Yeah, we kind of settled on Chris and Mintz, Mincy in there. Those two will handle the nickel position going into the first game.
When Chris moves over to nickel, who would come in that corner?
Again, we're still looking at that right now. Mincy and T-Bell would be the two guys that we're kind of keeping that open through the week, to see. But T's been running with our first group and has done a pretty good job. So, but we'll keep that active all week long.
Which was said, make sure I understand. So that's a Chris plays nickel, right?
Correct.
But if you put Hintz at nickel, then everything else I assume stays.
Yeah. Well, Chris is our nickel, so. you know, if something happened to him, then, you know, we'd move Mintz in, but.
One of the big questions of the offseason was how are guys going to transition into the new systems? Now that you have the full scope of the offseason, the preseason, how do you think your players have kind of bought into what you've brought here?
I think they've made progress. Still a long, you know, road ahead. And I think that, you know, my vision for the season is really to see them continue to get better and improve, you know. We've got to play Saturday night, so again, it's going to be interesting for everybody just to see exactly where we are. I anticipate, you know, a lot of things in respects to, again, some of those players that are working through the process and trying to gain a comfort in being able to play big time ball in a big game like this. So again, just anxious to see it, but you know, we've got a lot of room for a lot of improvement right now.